Yo, what's up, everybody? This is William from Before the Billions back with another video. And today I'm going to be studying and preparing for my interview that's coming up. And I made in the previous video where I am interviewing with Meta, and I told them I want as much time as possible to prepare. So why not go ahead and start a series where I am actively preparing for it, so that way you guys can hold me accountable. Tell me like, hey man, you didn't come up with a video today. We need a video, so that way we know that you are studying and trying to get prepared and become the best candidate for the position. So one of the things that they ask for is that I get good at leak code questions, leak code and hacker rank. A lot of the top companies, specifically the FANG companies, they look for these types of whiteboarding questions where they'll ask somebody who's applying for like a software developer or a data engineer type of role, and they'll ask them questions like, okay, well, tell me some questions about Java or Python, whatever the language that you code in, or SQL. And then the questions will be having to be written up on the whiteboard and or on a computer screen if you're doing like a virtual interview. So what you have to do in the interview is answer a random question that can be kind of it can kind of be tricky. A lot of the times, a lot of these questions are kind of tricky. Some of them are pretty straightforward, but a lot of them are like riddles and kind of like puzzles, and you have to be extremely good at coding in order to understand the data structures, the algorithms, and everything to be able to solve the types of questions. And just answering the question isn't enough. I've interviewed with Google in the past several times before, and what they do for their interviews, they ask you a question. If you answer it correctly, now you have to find a way of improving your question. Let's say you come up with a solution for reversing a string or reversing a linked list, like the meme says, and then they'll ask you, hey, how can you optimize it? One of the questions I got asked had to deal with something like files, and you're storing all these files in a storage bucket, and you want to be able to check the size of the file. And that was a pretty simple question. It's not similar to any leak code question I've seen, but the question was very simple, kind of easier to understand. I was able to answer the question, but they asked me to make it faster and make it better than that. And essentially that's what they may ask you in these types of interviews. So you have to look forward to seeing something like that. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I do have up here a cheat sheet for myself. I will say that I'm not going to just go in here and do everything all by myself. I do have a cheat sheet that I'm going to be using right here. I just looked it up, Python 3 cheat sheet, as I'm going to be trying to get better at Python leak code questions. So it just kind of goes over some of the basic things that you'll be able to use just as a reference. Right, as a data engineer, you do have to use a coding language such as Python because they have some great libraries. But I'll be honest with you, you'll create like a data pipeline. You may have to update some code from time to time, but the majority of the type of work that you're going to be doing is going to be in databases and doing analysis using SQL queries and NoSQL databases, moving that information from one place to the other, and setting up new pipelines may require some Python, but not all the time. So it's not like if you become a data engineer, it's not like every single day you have to use Python. You may have to use SQL most likely, well, more than Python. But Python is always a great language. It's the easiest language to learn, in my opinion, for beginners because it reads like regular English. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So this is the cheat sheet that I got just by doing a quick Google search. Okay. And then I have over here, I have logged into LeetCode. So I have LeetCode over here on the left, and on the right I have Python 3 cheat sheet. So let's just explore. Let's see. So on the left-hand side, we're going to explore. And then I did start trying some questions. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not good at any of these questions. I am not good at any leak code questions at all. I even have issues with TwoSum. But I will tell you that it's not required for every job to be good at leak code questions or be really good at data structures and algorithms. It's not that you have to be, but for these particular roles, for like the top companies, you have to be. So let's go ahead and look into it. I'm going to go over this. I may skip around and stuff like that. So that way we can, like it won't just be like silence of me looking into it or anything. But let's go ahead and see. And also, I want to see something. They have cheat sheets here on LeetCode. I'll check that out next time. But I want to look up the data structures and algorithms. Let's see. Are these the questions? Oh, you got to pay for that. Oh, you got to pay $90 for that. Never mind. I'm good. I just got laid off. I don't need to be paying $90. I'm good. Never mind. Thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of stuff too. 149 items. Yeah. Do you got to pay for all of them? Okay. All that videos here. I don't want to play their videos on here. Yeah, I'm gonna do this like offline. Not on camera. So, but let's just see. Let's just try some of the problems. And I'm gonna look at so they have multiple different topics on the left hand side. They have different topics here: algorithms, databases, shell scripting, concurrency. Interesting. JavaScript, pandas, the Python library. Let's see. And then they have different trending companies. So Facebook, which is Meta, which is the one I'm interviewing for right now, they're trending right now. So they must be doing some hiring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the difficulty, and I'm going to put easy. Easiest difficulty I can get. And then let me see. Difficulty is easy, and then all right. So let's see. I'm going to go with the acceptance. I think acceptance means it's the easier of the ones. I think that's how it's set up. So this would be the easiest one. Return length of arguments passed. Let's see. Oh. That's new. They have a new feature. Enable dynamic layout. A central hub for key tools such as run code, submit notes, etc. Okay. They got different tabs. Customize your coding space by dragging tabs to create preferred layouts. Resize panels. Adjust the workspace to fit your needs by resizing panes using the splitter. Minimize a panel. Double click on the top bar of a pane to maximize and enhance focus. So maximize a panel. It says expand, collapse. Click to expand or collapse a pane, creating space for essential content. Settings. Customize for dynamic layout, code editor, shortcuts, and advanced settings. All right, cool. So here we go. We have our question here on the left, and then this one. Let's see, score of a string. See, there we go. So you can change this one. So this is the easiest one. This is Python 3. This is going to be a little different. Okay, so we have here score of a string. And then it gives us some code. It says class solution. So this is a class or an object within Python. And then you have here a function for the class here. So the function is called score of string. The class is called solution. All right, score of a string. You are given a string S. The score of a string is defined as the sum of the absolute difference between the ASCII values of adjacent characters. Return the score of S. All right, this part seems pretty like I don't know. It's the absolute difference between the ASCII values of adjacent characters. The way they worded it is so confusing to me. The score of a string is defined as the sum of the absolute difference between the ASCII values of adjacent characters. Okay. Example 1. You input hello as the variable s. You output the number 13. The explanation is the ASCII values of the characters in S, the string, H is equal to 104, E is equal to 101, L is equal to 108, O is equal to 101. So the score of S would be 104 minus 101 absolute value, 101 minus 108 plus, okay, wait. Okay, so you add all of the absolute values. So I think you go, since, okay, so we have H, E, L. I think because you only use 2 L's. Yep, so you have, all right, so we have here the H is first. So this is H. So H minus E. Okay. So H minus E. E minus L. L minus L. L minus O. 3 plus 7 plus 0 plus 3 is equal to 13. Example 2. ZAZ is input into the variable S. Output 50. The ASCII values of the character in S are Z 122, A 97. So the score of S would be 122 minus 97. 97 minus 122. 25 plus 25 equals 50, okay? 2 is less than or equal to S dot length, which is less than or equal to 100. S consists only of lowercase English letters. Okay. So I guess you had to make them lowercase. You had to make them lowercase here. Here are constraints. So it cannot be. So it can be a number that is greater than or equal to 2. So any number between 2 and 100. So, and then even the way they wrote this in Python 3. Okay, so the type is a string, and the return type is an integer. Okay. So they want it to return an integer. It takes in the string S, and it returns an integer out. Let me write it down. Okay, so I see on the cheat sheet where it says ORD. I think that's how you can how you can convert a character into a ASCII. Let's see. Oh, that is. Okay, cool. So now I get the ASCII because so it said it right here in the conversions. I wanted to convert it. So I loop through the string with the for loop. So I just said it's easier in Python. So I just said for char in string, print the ASCII. I don't know what ORD stands for. Never had to actually do this in profession, but ORD char. So I said all my characters, I want to convert them to an ASCII value from my string list. Okay. Perfect. So this is what it returned me, or this is what it printed out. It printed out 104, 101, 108, 108, and 111. Looking very similar to how it does in this example. So that's perfect. This is the first one. Okay, so now I know the numbers are right. So now what I want to do is I want to do the absolute value portion. So absolute value, I think you do ABS. It's called ABS. Okay, so thank goodness I was able to kind of figure out how to go about doing this. I just needed to change my for loop. I should say for char in range, and then have the length of the string -1, so it doesn't go over the number. So char is now the number within the index, the number of the the number of the item within the string. Printing it. So I'm printing to see, okay, this is the ASCII value. So I have the ASCII value there. Then I have the next one, which is going to be getting the next character to the next one, and that works. So as you can see, it's 104 for the ASCII value, and then for the next character, it's going to be E. So H is 104, E is the next character. Then I print out the next character there, and I say, okay, well, I want to print out the absolute value of the current string, the current character, minus the next one. Oh, I got to do the next one. I might as well just say next star. I ain't write it for no reason. So this is right. Okay. Now what do I want to do? I want to add them. Let's see. I think this should be it. Oh my God, it was accepted. Oh my God. It took me an hour. That took me a full hour. I just got it. An hour and 2 minutes in to be doing it. I finally got the right answer. Oh my God. Oh, I finally got it. Yes. Even with the cheat sheet. Oh man, I know people who are like really good at leak code. They're probably looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, oh man, it's so easy. Why couldn't you just get it, man? This is just not what I work on. Yeah, it's like it took me an hour to go through this, so I just had to really get good at this within the month. But yeah, I definitely want to. I don't know. I definitely want to make sure I get better at this. Oh my gosh, this video is long enough. Hopefully I can cut it out so that way it's not too long. I appreciate you all. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also hit the bell notification icon if you want to be notified whenever I make new videos on YouTube. Please go ahead and check out the Before the Billions website as well as the Discord. So that way you can speak with either me or anybody else within the BTB squad. I would really appreciate it. I will see you all in the next one. And don't forget to build your billions.